what could be a better time to get things out you don't want anybody to notice when the eggnog is absolutely at full throttle? Well, you won't get away with it if BuzzFeed.com's involved. First on the list, Sotheby's disclosed on Christmas Eve that 4 of its senior executives had agreed to major cuts in benefits when they leave. The head of the on-demand television brand Netflix has been handed a $2 million pay rise. It also wants to ditch its shareholders' rights plan to prevent investors buying any more of the company. The department store JCPenney has quietly shelved an exclusive deal with the pop star Justin Timberlake. Well, it wasn't that exclusive, and there wasn't much of a deal behind it anyway. His William Rast brand will be shelved 18 months early. Matthew Zeitlin is the business reporter of BuzzFeed, joins me now. Why do they do it? Do they put these Securities and Exchange announcements or these investor reports out deliberately to avoid attention?
You know, I can't know one way or the other. I do know this. The SEC was only closed on 2 days for, submissions of these documents, Christmas and January 1st. However, newsrooms and investment banks and analysts across the country were definitely closed on the days before and after that. So this is the time to put out information that you might not want to see have the full exposure as if you put it out, in the middle of the week in, early November.
And yet, analysts are paid money to spot this. Mm-hmm. And journalists are paid money to report it. So I'm guessing what tends to happen is, in 2 weeks' time when we see it, it becomes a bit of a, so what, it doesn't really matter.
Well, I mean, the idea here is that, there's only so many reporters really in their office going on the SEC website trying to find these documents, and just the less there is people talking about it, the less the attention will be paid to stuff they may not want to see people talking about.
Of the list that you've got, which one really got you?
Okay, this is my favorite. On Monday, December 23rd, Occidental Petroleum announced that they were paying their former chairman $26 million. And the reason why is that he'd been kicked out of the role in May, and he claimed that he had been fired without cause.
Right. Now, Oxy Petroleum will claim, well, we had to announce it.
Oh, yeah?
We've told shareholders about it. What are you suggesting? Come on, right down to the brass knuckles.
I'm suggesting that when I was in the office on Monday, December 23rd, very few of my colleagues were there, and I'm sure that was the case in newsrooms across the country. That is what I'm suggesting. That's what's true, and not very many people talked about this. I mean, there were local reporters in Los Angeles who talked about it, but, this guy, Ray Irani, had a major controversy earlier about his pay, and he was getting $26 million from a company that kicked him out.
Matthew, there's a very famous case in the UK, which was where you may be familiar with, where a government advisor told the minister in appalling circumstances this would be a good day to bury bad news. It's not new that this happens.
Nope. Absolutely.
Would you do it if you could?
I'm always pro journalist, getting as much information as possible, as quickly as possible, and I would put anything else out there, but I definitely understand why they were doing it.
What do you think, from your point of view, is going to be the priorities in 2014, do you think? As we look at business and as we look at this slow growth and as businesses are doing business, the internet, the Facebook stuff, Twitters, what for you is going to be the thing you're going to be focusing on?
I think for most companies, it's what to do with the profits they're accumulating. Corporate profits have been very, very high, but their investment in their companies has been very, very low. A lot of that's been going back to shareholders. And I think as those profits tend to accumulate, a lot of shareholders will be asking what they're doing with that money.
And we hope you'll come back and talk about it, because I'd certainly enjoy reading your stuff.
Of course.
Many thanks indeed. Happy New Year to you.
You too.
Thanks. We'll have a